What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, y'all? It's been a busy day already. Let me make sure I'm not on mute. Let me make sure y'all can hear me and see me. 1 second. Boom. Okay. Y'all, it's been a busy day. How was y'all Tuesday going? Yes, thank you guys to everybody that's already in the chat. Real prompt. I did go live about 5 minutes early. Keep y'all on y'all toes, you know. I know you girls like to tussle. I'll be on Snapchat TikTok a little too much, you guys. But if you guys are here, then you know that you are tuned in with Always Talking to Audrey, where we always talk about trending topics. If you are new here, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe. Today is going to be a very, very good live. If you guys can tell by the title, the owner of the apartments that Sabrina Dunigan resided in with her children actually dropped down in the comments of my previous live and said that they would just like to clear up the facts. So I am more than honored to assist in that. I did keep it 100 with them. I'm like, hopefully I didn't offend you with the things that I was saying. And I told them, hey, we can go live. I can do questions. I can relay it on live, and he said he's willing to go live. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. One moment, y'all. Hey, so his name is Ronaldo, you guys. So be nice. Ronaldo, I'm not sure if you can see the comments on your screen. It should have a button that says comments on there, so you can see the audience's comments.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, you got them. Okay, perfect. Yes, Brittany, I have a windbreaker on because, baby, I just got out of class and I hopped right on live. I didn't want to be too late. So, again, thank you so much for joining my live, Ronaldo. I am honored and happy that you wanted to reach out and clear up some rumors. So, in order to get started, I just want to ask, what is your relationship to the landlord? I know when you were in my comments, you said that you were the owner. So are you the landlord's son? I noticed you guys have the same last name.
Yeah, that's my father.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I kind of figured because I did have to do a little fact checking. I said, hold on, I don't know if I'm being scammed or not. I don't want to be bamboozled. So I had to, fact check your name. But I figured you was his son. So how did you find my video, if you don't mind me asking?
Somebody forwarded it to me. I spoke out about this a couple of days ago on somebody else's platform because a lot of people been covering the story, but in them covering the story, we're taking the bad name.
Exactly. I figured that.
We're being slandered, and people are saying, "Oh, we should be going to jail." Like there's a lot of information. Like I said, I'm gonna touch on certain things, but certain things I'm not, just because it's still an open case.
No, I definitely understand. I do apologize that you guys are taking the brunt. I did figure that though when I was covering my live yesterday, I made it known like y'all are getting hit with a lot of accusations, and that's why I tried to make my live unbiased and just with all the information that I gathered. But I did find a lot of information where people want to hold you guys accountable and not the fact of the charges that is being brought against Sabrina, which was kind of bizarre to me.
And that's my biggest thing. It's one thing if you have a hatred or a jealousy in your heart towards a person for whatever reason. It's another for you to step back and just look at a certain situation. Take how you feel about a person out of a situation and look at what really happened.
Absolutely. I definitely agree.
Those kids were there by themselves. Nobody was there with them. We can't be there with those kids. It's a tragedy. It's not sad, it's a tragedy. But you can't put that on us. And for you to come out and say, "Oh, it's an electrical fire." With the electricity on that building, We had an electrician that we hired. The city themselves said, no, you have to use somebody that we have that's certified through us. So we went and got that person, and they did the electrical work. My dad didn't do the electrical work. The electrical work wasn't done the day before that fire. That electrical work had been done way before that.
Oh wow. Oh
The
wow.
the pictures that you pulled, that was him just showing at every property. We have pictures from when it first take it over to everything that gets improved in.
Yes.
So
So this post is what
that's
he's
what you
referring
were
to.
seeing. Yeah, so that's what you were seeing was what he's done, far as changing out drywall sheets, putting new borders in there, putting wine racks up, just trying to give people something comfortable that they can
Mhm.
be. And my whole thing was the electric part. You can't say electrical fire when it's coming out. You have a track record of fire. It follows you everywhere you go.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, unfortunately. And I have, my husband, he does landlord work, so I'm very familiar with buildings have to be coded by the state. There's no way that you can have anyone in a building without.
Without it being approved.
Yes, you have to have those codes. You have to have all that listed. And if the state comes in and does their inspection, you guys, and it's not up to par, they will close down the building and make them pay fines to get it fixed. So he's not lying when he says that, especially with the biggest thing being that there was no smoke detectors in the units. Can you go ahead and clarify that a little bit for us?
Every unit has a smoke detector, just like I said on the other platform. And I'm glad you said your husband is, into realty, so he can he can tell you this. When you go, you walk there with that tenant, they sign off initial, you put the key in their hand. When you walk out of that building, what they do in that building is their business. We're not bounty hunters. We're not going to come bust in 24 hours a day anytime we want to check your establishment. We don't do that. So
Right.
if you're a smoker or you do whatever and you take the batteries out of your smoke alarm, we can't stop that.
Very true. Very true. How often do you guys inspect the units? Is it like, I know when I lived in an apartment some years ago, they checked like I believe every few months, but it was nothing intrusive. They would either check just to make sure that everything was up to par and there was no damages, but that was pretty much it. So can you say how often you guys check the units?
The units pretty much were gone through pretty much like once, twice a month, unless you called and said, hey, there's a problem with this, or can you come out and check this? If there was something that needed to be done that you didn't know, there was a routine inspection, you got a 24-hour notice, either a note on your door or a phone call saying, hey, we're coming in tomorrow at this time, just so you know. If you're not going to be home, we're still going to have to come in and do whatever.
But you have prior notice to prepare if you're not going to be home. So no one's entering any units without prior knowledge. Everyone knows
Without
that. That's pretty routine. So I did want to talk about the leasing issue. I know when you came in my comments, you made it very clear that there were not 8 people living in the unit, and it was actually that Sabrina's father actually lived across the hall, which was what we kind of suspected when they teeter-tottered around the fact of I left my kids attended, but I wasn't close enough to get to the children. So with him living by the hall or across the hall, how many people lived in Sabrina's unit?
In her unit, there was 2 kids that were on the lease, and she was on the lease, and the boyfriend was staying there.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so I remember your father, he spoke out on the news and he said that only 2 children was listed on the lease. So you guys had no idea that you guys were leasing out a 1-bedroom apartment to a mother of 5, which essentially will leave 7 people in the apartment if her fiance is coming and going.
Correct.
Okay, so with the father living across the hall, does he still live there? Is he still a resident?
He is not a resident.
Wow. Okay. So how long did he live there? Did they move in around the same time? Are you able to give us like a time frame? Did he live there first and then she followed suit, or how did that happen?
He followed because a previous apartment he was staying in. Give me one sec. I gotta let my garage shut down. Hold on one sec.
No worries, take your time. Thank you guys to everyone coming in. Again, we are speaking with Ronaldo. He is the owner. He is in business with his father, with the apartment complex that Sabrina and her children lived in. Ronaldo is just here to clear up all the rumors. He also just spoke about the fact that he is getting a lot of backlash, him and his father, with a lot of disheartening comments, to the point where they are asking him and his father to be charged for a crime that has nothing to do with child endangerment. So he's just here to clear up some rumors for us.
So like I said, her father came after because a previous unit that he was renting from us in a different city caught fire.
Hold on. 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 In a different city, in a different place, it caught fire. I
It,
don't know if these people have fire things shooting out their butt and dropping everywhere, but it's really strange that fire is following this family. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I suspected that the father was in on it because he's always front and center. So do you guys, are you able to tell me a little about the previous fire that they were in, or that he was in? Was it like self-started? Do you guys have any rule on that one?
um, pretty much a neighbor came home, smelt smoke, smelt the fire, called 911. The police were right down the street. They came, kicked the door in, put the fire out.
And he wasn't home.
Wasn't home.
Wow. And did he for so with your apartment units, do you guys require the tenants to have insurance? Or do you guys just
Mm,
have a lump where you guys cover it?
we pretty much take care of everything at our unit.
Okay, that's what I figured. So we can't even confirm if that previous fire at the previous place, he didn't receive any money for that.
No.
Okay. Okay, so that was a mic
When,
drop
when
right there.
he when he had that fire, we relocated him down to the building where this incident happened. And this was during the pandemic, so we didn't want to leave him homeless. So
Hmm.
we put him down in that unit.
And it speaks volumes that you just said that we didn't want to leave him homeless, even though you guys already know the law. You guys are not at fault for whatever happened to his unit. So you guys very much so could have left him high and dry. The National Guard or whoever uh could have covered him, but you guys didn't have to house him and relocate him. So that speaks volumes that you guys even did that.
Like I say, my biggest thing is the slander that comes along with all of this. Like we have tenants that previous tenants that wanted to re-rent and couldn't. So now you're starting to say, "Oh, I was about to move back into this building," and that's not the case. You were never about to move back in there.
Right. You
We
had
have,
bad
we
rental
have
history.
people, right? We have people where we have went and cut utilities on in our name because they can't get them cut on in their own
Wow. Wow. So you guys are footing the bills for these unpaid utility bills
name.
because
Right.
they're
So
in under your
if
name.
you say you rent from us, and your credit or you have unpaid bills, so you can't get your lights turned on. So we go and put the lights in our name. If you
Wow.
don't have that money to cover those lights, who has to pay that light bill?
You guys, because as the units is under your name, it automatically defaults to your use regardless. And that's why you ask for the account numbers before they move in. So I completely understand that. Now, if you don't mind, can you walk me through the day of the fire? Was there any other apartment unit that was impacted? Because the pictures are quite scary, but it shows only one built or only two windows. So can you walk me through? Was any other units impacted with this fire?
Um, There was some smoke damage in some of the units, but that particular unit was the only one that was really
Was
like
that
damaged.
bad?
And as sad as it is that it was a tragedy, East St. Louis Fire Department did do their job and did do a great job because the apartment itself, the way they controlled the fire and got it to escape out, made the building and the apartment salvageable.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's really good. And no one else was harmed besides the 5 children. Is that what I'm hearing?
From what I hear, no one else was harmed, but you're hearing the same stories that I'm hearing.
Right.
So when she says, "Oh, my hands were burned, feet were burned," and then everybody else is saying they didn't see any of that stuff.
Okay. And someone in the comments has a great question because I was going to ask this. Naomi said, when did everyone evacuate? We know that the mom left around 3 a.m. So when was the first call placed? Are you aware of how long she may have been gone?
I don't know how long she was gone. Like I say, the story was she went to pick up the fiance from work. But like I say, you keep hearing all these other things come out, people saying they saw her at different places. I didn't even know that it was her birthday.
Right. It was a
Like,
birthday.
that's what another thing that has me kind of messed up because my birthday is on the 4th of August.
Wow.
So it was just so much within those couple days that went on. And it makes you stop and appreciate your life and your children if you have.
Absolutely. So do you know what time, if the fire started around 3, do you know what time the fire department arrived?
I don't have the exact time. All that is in the report though, which
Mhm.
I've been encouraging everyone to submit a FOIA request. That way, anything that is public records that pertains to the case, they'll release it to you. We're
Yep. I'm
going through,
already on it.
yeah,
I'm
we're
on
going through
point.
the same processes right now. Some stuff we have access to, and some stuff we had to go just like you guys and submit the paperwork.
And submitted. So I know that you spoke out a little bit about the slander that you guys are getting in the backlash. So we know that no one else was basically impacted besides this one unit. The apartments were savaged because, the fire department did do a great job. But can you tell me a little bit about the days to come after the fire? It seemed like the community really rallied around Sabrina, and rightfully so. She is a mother who lost her 5 children. But with all of that compassion that she received, how did you guys get treated in the midst of all this?
We pretty much were ready for what we knew were coming.
Wow.
When you are in this business, and especially in the area that we are in, a lot of people look for what they can get. And what people don't understand is you look at a person and you see them have something and you think, oh, I'm gonna go take that from them. If you really knew how things work, even if you had a valid reason to sue someone, which you don't, you would be suing a LLC and
Yeah.
not a person.
Hmm.
So once again, your hatred and your jealousy and your feelings that you have towards a person is clouding your brain on what you're actually going through in life.
So what I'm hearing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, um, who exactly is trying to, or who exactly came back to you guys looking for a profitable gain? Was it her father? Was it Sabrina? Did they ever contact you guys again and say how they felt and try to basically attack you guys and make you guys pay?
I will say this. We were served so they can do their own private investigation to see if they wanted to go through with the
Wow.
law.
And how soon after the fire were you guys served? And I'm only asking this because it shows intent. Was this rather quickly? It's only been 3 months.
It was extremely quickly, and the building itself, instead of us being able to go in and start fixing it to give people somewhere to stay, the building itself pretty much was held hostage. We should have been able to resume the very next day after the fire department released it.
Wow.
But instead, we waited going through the court proceedings for them to come out and inspect it. And that's the other thing I want to touch on. This goes back again to the jealousy and hatred. The fire happened on 29th Street.
Hmm.
They came to a completely different property of ours and wanted to inspect that.
Wow.
And when they do those inspections, you have to pay for that.
Yep. And you sometimes have to stop business. So you may have to have the people leave the units, everything, and
And
while you're paying
you don't
money.
get your money back.
So basically, there was a report done, like an investigation done on all of their units to make sure that they were all up to date and passing safety inspections. On top
Correct.
of your initial building that did catch on fire being held hostage and being tarnished in the media.
Correct.
So, how was Sabrina as a tenant? I know that you already said that it was only 2 children listed on the lease, but was this an issue where was she always paying her rent on time? Was she a good tenant? Did she have any records as far as people calling and making noise complaints? Like from your point of view, how was she?
I don't, like I say, I'm not here to slander people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just here to give the facts of what goes on with us.
Mm-hmm.
So, far as her as a tenant, I wouldn't say it was any different or any less. Like every tenant is going to be who they are. You just have to know what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with. Once you let them know, hey, this is where the line is. If you can't deal with this, you're gonna have to go.
That's
But like I
that's
said, with the kids, we only knew of the 2 kids that were on the lease. There's people in the area that have been coming out and saying that they didn't even know that those kids were there. Like the kids never came out.
wow. So people in the building was even saying that they never heard or saw the other children. Did you
There's
guys ever see the boyfriend, the children's father? Because that's the one who allegedly catch the first house on fire that made her allegedly relocate to your building. Did you
see,
guys ever see him?
and with that particular situation, I just heard maybe a day or so ago that he's not even the person that said that.
Yeah, he was let go. There was no charges brought about him. It was actually dismissed, which is really weird because that house, you have to, again, like a building, it's a lot less, but because he owned that house, you have to answer to that fire. There's an investigation. So I am
And
trying to be nosy.
would you burn your own house down?
Absolutely not. Not when I got to answer to it, because even if I burned it down, it's still illegal. It's still illegal. So with the pattern of the fires, and I know that you guys can't speak on a lot, but you guys, and let's just say this because we can't say what we really want to say, but you guys have been cleared of the electrical cause. Like there is no evidence that points to this fire starting from an electrical cause.
None of that.
None. And
None.
the determination is still under investigation about how the fire started.
Not gonna say that either.
Okay, no, I understand. I understand. I want to know, but I get it. I get it. So, there was another rumor, and hopefully, maybe you would know because I know that you already spoke on this earlier. But there was another rumor that there was no electricity in her unit, like her power was off. Can you confirm that?
If her power was off, that is new to me. Like I said, the
Wow.
night that happened, the only statement she made to my father was, I left a candle burning. One of the kids must have knocked it over. She turned around. She walked away.
Wow. So are you guys gonna be countersuing or looking into any anything in regards to this if she is found guilty or negligence is found, because this is a property that you guys had to pay for to get fixed?
We don't even think like that. Like our mindset was, as soon as the building was released, we were gonna get back to doing what we normally do and let the cards fall where they fall at. We just want the truth to come out and go from there. But like I
Okay,
said,
no.
the building itself is already being remodeled, and that's all we can do really.
And that your father was not the electrical contractor. The Facebook post was him just saying all of the renovations that was to come to the apartment complex. That is the main thing that you guys want to clarify. And then also that every unit has been safety inspected and that there were smoke detectors in each unit, and you guys are not liable for any smoke detectors faulting at the hands of the tenant. Is that what I'm understanding? That you
Correct.
guys did everything and that no fault to you guys. The safety was all hashed out on your end.
Everything was taken care of on our end. I also recommend this to any landlords that are out there. From this day forward, if you get a tenant, put a GoPro on as you walk them through there, show that everything is working, show that the batteries are in the smoke detector, make sure they sign and initial everything on camera, and you put the key in their hand and you walk out the door.
So
That
are
way
you guys having trouble
you're
getting new tenants? Because I know that you already spoke about the angry tenants, but are you guys having trouble getting new tenants? Is there something that Sabrina is allegedly or her father saying about you guys in the streets of St. Louis?
no, it's not. We're getting problems getting tenants because people are seeing us redo the building already and are stopping and asking about it. So
Okay.
it's not about that. Like my biggest thing, like I say, is for you to attack a name because you feel a certain type of way about a person. Like I want people to look at an incident and judge that incident and what happened in that particular moment. That's my biggest thing.
So do you feel like they are trying to put the blame on you or your father? Like,
They I feel the family at this point, that
mm,
is their main thing. They want to deflect it off of them. So whatever they can do or whoever they can say is at fault, they're gonna do that. And like I say, that was the first I had heard that the father was supposed to be watching the kids.
yeah.
None of us had heard that until the charges came.
Yeah. The father and his half-blind girlfriend was allegedly supposed to be tending to the children. We just could not confirm the placement of where
And
this father
and
was.
and he also allegedly jumped from the second floor.
Oh, so he didn't leave out the fire escape. He jumped.
The story was that he jumped,
No
but
broken legs.
no broken leg,
No rolled ankles.
no rolled ankles.
Impressive. At 3 in the morning where it's dark. Okay. I give it to him. Maybe he was an athlete. You think he was an athlete? He
I,
probably
you
was an
know, like like I say, I just want you to keep covering it.
I am. I am
Be-
because I got some questions.
Yeah, because when it comes out, then everybody's gonna be like, oh, okay, this is deeper than we actually thought.
So, how quickly, I know that the fire happened and she got the GoFundMe money and the funeral. Were you guys present for any of that? The funeral or, any of the candlelight visuals?
There, we felt it was in our best interest not to attend that type of stuff. Just because, not because we weren't empathetic and we didn't care. It was more so that can trigger an emotional response for somebody and create a scene that doesn't need to be there.
No, that's true. That's very true.
So And with you touching on the GoFundMe, I said this to people too. I'm big on helping people when they need help. But me personally, I would never send money to a GoFundMe. And
Me neither.
I would never give money directly to the person.
Always
I
the
would
organization.
I would contact the funeral home and ask them how much is the arrangement or how much is the casket. Or I would contact a local barbershop and say, hey, I know they have family members. I don't think all of them are going to be able to get themselves presentable for the service. I like to pay for all of them to be able to come through there and you get them presentable. Do something like that to take that type of stress off of them. Because when you start putting money in people's hands, that's when you start second guessing yourself. When people say, "Oh, she's riding around in a new expedition,"
So
so
y'all, yeah. So
so yeah.
are you aware of where she's living? Has she been temporarily placed with another place by like Red Cross, or is she leasing another place?
There was an interview that one of I think the brothers sister, one of the brothers sisters of one of the guys she dated said that she's living in the truck. But like I say, I me
You're not
personally, I
sure.
don't care because it's not my business.
Very true.
That's the biggest thing with us. We mind our business and we keep it moving. That's it.
You
Positive
strictly just want
energy,
to close your name, clear your name.
clear our name, keep the positive energy, and keep moving.
No, I definitely agree. And I thank you so much again, Ronaldo, for reaching out to me and clearing your name. I think this clears up a lot of questions that people had just because it does paint you guys in a bad light and it makes you guys seem that, you are running some type of shady business and you guys don't care about your tenants, which can really lead to a bad name. So
Right.
I am so appreciative that you were able to clear your name. Is there any more comments or questions that we have in the comments for Ronaldo before we go? Y'all say she living her best life.
No, they say that because like I say, it you just lost 5 children. You should be somewhere pretty much suffering from manic depression, really. But
Yeah.
instead, you and your whole family were in Florida partying, renting out the top of a penthouse, going live. You're going in jewelry stores, asking how much stuff is, talking about, oh, that's it. Like that's chump change to you. And people that know you don't come from that type of background or have that type of finance in your life. So where did this come from all of a sudden?
And now
This
you
was,
can double back and got another GoFundMe for $75,000.
and that's what got me when you say, oh, she doesn't have a lawyer. You can miss me with the lawyer stuff because you had a lawyer when you were getting ready to try to get us.
And it was so long. I mean, it was so soon after the accident. Someone in the comments said, "How long was she a tenant before the fire?" Because we know she got the initial fire of her house, October 2019. So was she living with you guys for 2 years, or was it just a shorter amount of time?
No, it was just a short amount of time. She wasn't there the whole 2 years.
Wow.
When they came, like I said, when they came to us, it pretty much was they were in a garage from what we gathered.
Wow.
And that was enough for us to say okay. And that was the other thing when people were saying there's 8 people in an apartment. I'm thinking to myself, one, that would automatically make you a slumlord. Like, and who in their right mind is gonna put 8 people in a 1 bedroom apartment?
That's why I had to clear up the rumor about the Section 8. I'm like, that's not how that works. They're not gonna
And
put,
and it's not Section 8 housing.
yeah,
Like, I'm gonna send you some pictures so you can really see the inside of these apartments and what
yes.
they really look like. But it's not Section 8 housing, and she can't get Section 8 because she's a convicted felon.
Wow. So besides like what background did you guys have to run on her to qualify her for a tenant? Because I know that there was another rumor about she never worked. So how are you guys able to verify her income? What is your verification process like? Because I know we can't focus too much on her because it's an open investigation, but you can tell me your requirements to open up
That
an apartment.
and that's where you get in trouble when you're soft hearted and you try to help someone.
Yeah, and there is a stigma with private landlords because, like I said, my husband, my in laws, they do this. There's a stigma with the private landlords that they are more lenient than the big corporations because we know the big corporations go through an extensive background versus private landlords. They more so is more willing to work with the tenant if they have a sorrow story. So, with her coming from a fire, living in a garage, that pulls on someone's heartstrings. The same with like bad credit. I have bad credit, but I have good money. Will you still lease to me? Type thing. Is that what you're saying?
For the most part.
Okay.
For the most part. Like I say, when they came to us, it was you really have nowhere. So we gave them somewhere. And even though it's not a huge penthouse, it was more than enough space for her and the girls.
The two children. Right.
You know, like I say, we all come from somewhere, and that city, we all know how to survive. We all haven't had the biggest houses and you know what I mean, the best time. So a lot of us have had air mattresses in living rooms and had to do bunk beds and one person sleep on the couch. Like we all grew up. You know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that.
so that's why with the two kids, okay, it's a stretch, but it's not a lot. But then when
Right.
you bring the rest of them in there, and you know what I mean, you're not letting everybody really come out and move around because you're not really trying to let people see what's going on. There's nothing I can do about that.
Right. And another person asked how big was the square footage of the one bedroom apartment? How like what's the square footage for these units?
I'll send like I said, I'll send you the pictures
Okay.
and let you go from there. Like I said, everything that we put into these apartments, all the materials are the same things that we put in our own personal houses. So
Makes sense.
it's not like we shortchanged them on the wood or on the tiles or whatever it is that we did, the drywall sheets, like everything that goes into those buildings go into our same houses.
And again, as the tenant, you have a right to choose. You don't have to move into something that you were not comfortable moving into. So even if, speaking hypothetically, they got white refrigerators and you got a stainless steel, that's not a bad or inhumane type thing, in my opinion, because if I want a stainless steel refrigerator, I'm gonna either go find a unit with one or I'm gonna buy one. So even if you guys weren't living the same way, she was a tenant, so she or anyone could choose where they want to live at the end of the day. You guys weren't forcing them to live anywhere that didn't fit their needs.
Not at all.
No, so I definitely appreciate you again, Ronaldo, for clearing your name, clearing your father's name, and clearing your business name. I mean, that is very important. We want to support Black businesses, and in this climate, there is no room to fail. So I wish you guys the best of luck with your business endeavors, and I can't wait to see the building renovations.
I appreciate you for having me on and giving me an opportunity to speak to everybody. And like I say, everybody just keep a clear, open mind whenever you look at a situation when it first come out, because it always seems like it's one way.
Right.
And then when you start looking at everything that comes out, because everybody was quick to say, "Oh my God," and really be there for this girl. And now look at what you had.
Yeah. One more question. Someone just asked a good question. Was this the first fire in this building? Because I know we previously touched on another building that you guys own that caught on fire with her father, but this building,
Yeah.
this was the first fire.
Yes, this was the first fire in that building. The other one was her father in a different building in a different city. And then what everybody's hearing in the media about the White House is the other fire.
Wow. So it's been four fires because she also allegedly caught a basket on fire of the White House. So
I wasn't
allegedly.
I wasn't going to say that.
No, allegedly. So again, thank you so much, Ronaldo. I'll let you go on with your night and I'm gonna wrap up this live. But keep in touch with me. I will always have you on here to clear your name or add any evidence. I am gonna be keeping up with the court dockets like it's my business because I want to cover this story and I really want to wrap it up.
Okay, no problem. No problem. How much longer are you gonna be on here?
Just about 10 more minutes.
Okay, okay. I'll try to get some of them pictures and stuff sent over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank y'all.
Bye-bye. So there you guys have it. He has cleared his name. And I think personally, there is nothing wrong with ever wanting to clear your name, telling your story. Everyone has a story or has a piece to this story in this. And a lot of people, like I said, in the investigation that I did, a lot of people had some disgusting things to say about this business that him and his father own. And this type of business is very sensitive because this is how they make their money. But again, they have people's lives in their hands essentially with allowing people to live in these units. So it's horrible to have this coat on you or this tag on you that you running a faulty business and that you are out here aiding to the pain and suffering of a mother and 5 children. So I don't think that there was anything wrong with him clearing his name. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. There's a lot of things that we cannot touch on for legal reasons, so I didn't even ask because they weren't going to get answered. But Brittany does definitely need to be in timeout. Naomi, I'm gonna give you a shout out for this live. You've been coming with it. I love the fact that you guys are just wanting the facts. We don't want to blame anyone in this. I'm not going to be able to say if the mom did anything, if the dad did anything, if someone down the street, the baby daddy. We don't know who did it. But at the end of the day, we want justice. And a part of justice is making sure that the people that had nothing to do with this clear their name, period, point blank. I definitely can't wait to hear more about the investigation. We got about like 15 more minutes before we get to that hour mark. So if you guys want to call in and just give your opinion about what you guys just saw, your thought process, if you guys been doing your own investigation, because like I said, I'm not here to sway anyone's opinion or judgment. I am only here to give you guys the facts or the alleged information, and you guys need to think independently and critically on your own. So yes, I did go ahead and drop the link. Let me go ahead and pin it just in case you guys want to call in really quickly. Please be sure to be respectful and you guys can definitely state your opinion. And if you guys noticed, he did touch on some information that we already did have out there. Like I said, her social media has not been updated in months. So I wholeheartedly believe that if she's not updating it, she may be under another account. She may be doing something. But yes, there is records that the baby dad's sister said that, you know, she's living her best life. She is spending lavishly. And it's crazy because she's spending lavishly while you guys are basically footing the bill with these GoFundMes. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys those just one more time in case y'all don't believe me. This was the initial GoFundMe. She raised $24,000. It has since been updated to this GoFundMe. It's the same one. And she has basically got about 8,000 more since the last screenshot. So it could definitely be up there. They are also trying to get her a pro bono lawyer to basically assist her. And they have a petition out to basically have her charges dropped. I definitely feel like there is a lot of missing information. A lot of people are just looking at it for face value and not for the facts. So the fact is she is not being charged with their demise. She's not being charged with them perishing in the fire. She is being charged with 5 counts of child endangerment, and that is what it was, child endangerment. You leave your children unattended, that is a form of endangerment. Whether they came out alive or unalive, these charges could still be filed against her, period, point blank. No one is trying to bring down a Black woman who is already suffering, but the law is still the law. You cannot do that to your children. Tracy's take said she can't call in, but it's very suspicious that it was another fire while the father was a tenant. Yeah, so it looks like these people have gasoline shooting out of their ass. So every time they go somewhere, fire follows. I don't know what it is, but it's really strange. I I've told you guys, like in my live yesterday, um, people who like arson, it's an addiction. It's a form of addiction. It's similar to drinking. It's similar to gambling. You do it and you get a rush. You get like a high feel. So I'm not saying this is her. I'm not. What I'm saying is people who like arson. The pattern is there. It doesn't stop at one time. Period, point blank. The statistics say that. I'm going with the statistics. If you guys want to argue with me, go ahead, go down to the people that do statistics and fight them, okay? That's all that I'm saying. Brittany said, I feel like if she left them alone and they don't survive, she would be charged accordingly. Yeah, she should be charged accordingly. Absolutely. And I don't feel like, because y'all know me, if y'all know anything about me, I am definitely pro-Black. I am pro my people. I am not down to hurt anyone, but especially the Black woman. So please don't feel like I'm bashing a Black woman. I feel like this crime fits any gender, any race. But if you are a parent, it is very crucial that you guys ensure the safety of your children, because you guys are the ones that bring them in this world. So there's things that's out of our control. I understand that. But leaving your kids at 3 o'clock in the morning, but in a previous video, you all left at 5 o'clock in the morning to get milk, is a little shaky to me. I wanted to know how soon after the fire was reported after the mother left. Did they confirm she truly went to pick the boyfriend up at 3 a.m.? So when I was doing my investigation, and I am going to look at the dockets, and we can do a full-blown live where I go over it together with you guys with the transcripts and everything. But there is a discrepancy between 3 a.m. and 3:45. So it's somewhere in between that, but we are not able to tell how long she has been gone, and we do not know how long that fire went on before the police started or was called. But the time runs from 3 to 3:45 a.m. That's the only thing that I know. Is there talk of higher charges to come? Not that I've seen. There is no talk. The fire marshals still have not released the evidence about what happened with the fire and the cause. We support Black women, of course, but we foremost support Black children. Absolutely. I don't feel like you are at all. We can't ignore the patterns and signs. It's a child endangerment at its least. The oldest was only 9. Yes, the ages was from 2 to 9, you guys. So it is definitely a very sad story, and I'm going to wrap it up the same way that I did yesterday. These children deserve justice. If they were a victim, well, they were, not if, but they were victims of something that should have never happened to them, in my opinion. And with that being said, I hope that this wraps up and comes with a nice end. One moment, you guys. Okay, I'm back, y'all. Sorry, I had a phone call. But yes, you guys, I appreciate you guys for rocking with me today and with this live. There is more to come. I told y'all I was switching my channel around. I was going to do more things like this. And baby, it seems like we are going to be talking about this situation for a while. For a while. So if nothing else happens this week, expect me back Monday. But if something happens, y'all just need to keep y'all notifications on. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Y'all know how to find me on Brittany's Discord or also on social media. But I'm keeping my ear to the streets. It takes me a few days to gather evidence and look things up. My sister told me that I should have went into the FBI field because the lengths I be going be damn near dangerous, and it sure do. But I don't give a damn. I am nosy as hell. And yeah, I want to wrap it up for y'all in a bow, so y'all ain't gotta do it, period. Because who wants to spend hours looking up people's names and stuff? I don't know, but I'm gonna do it for y'all. So again, go ahead and drop some bows in the chat for me and like this live on y'all way out, and I will talk to y'all in the next live, okay? Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. Peace.